Have you ever sculpted a snowball or rolled up a ball of clay, built a sandcastle? Well, then you've dabbled in the art of sculpture. Welcome back to Elements of Art and our unit on form. I'm Natasha. While many of us have had the joy of shaping things with our hands, there's so much more to learn about sculpture. So, how does sculpture really capture form? So far, we've been discussing the element of form in an implied way, meaning that we've been learning how to suggest three-dimensional objects on flat surfaces with pencil and paint. We haven't really talked about making real or physical forms with the construction of three-dimensional objects, also known as sculpture. Since the element of form emphasizes three dimensions so profoundly, it's needed to take a look into sculpture. This ensures a genuine understanding of three-dimensionality in your education and in your art. In this lesson, we'll discover how sculpture utilizes the element of form. We'll learn about two main variations of sculpture and two different construction techniques, and mention notable sculpture artists that you can research for further understanding and visual examples. Sculpture, where raw materials meet imagination. This timeless art converts simple basic materials into three-dimensional wonders. Get ready to mold your understanding of sculpture as form. The word sculpture can refer to both the technique used as well as the finished artwork itself. These artworks can range from small statues to large public displays. Sculpture has long been a powerful medium for humans to convey ideas using the element of form. Sculpture involves creating three-dimensional objects that occupy space and engage the viewer from various angles. The essence of sculpture is defined by its physical presence and volume, emphasizing form. So what methods do sculptors employ to render form tangible? Well, it largely depends on their choice of materials. Sculptures can be crafted from a range of materials, each with its own unique properties. Clay is versatile and allows for intricate detailing. Wood brings warmth and texture. Stone can be imposing and enduring. Metal offers a strong feel or a modern touch. Unconventional materials like plastic, glass, or found objects can be used to make sculptures that challenge our perceptions. Can you think of any other materials used in sculpture? What about ice? Sand? How might the sculptors of tomorrow continue to utilize the element of form? What materials do you think they will be using? In the realm of sculpture, two main categories or classifications stand out: sculpture in the round and relief sculpture. First, let's look at sculpture in the round. This approach enables the artwork to be appreciated from all angles, offering a complete experience as you move around it. Imagine a freestanding sculpture or a figurine. Artists created these pieces so we can walk around them and see something special from every angle. Michelangelo's sculpture of David is a shining example of sculpture in the round. This finely carved masterpiece showcases the beauty of the human form in sculpture. But David is not alone in this style. Consider the Statue of Liberty or the sculptures on Easter Island. Any sculpture you can view from all angles falls into this category. While pieces like David are meant to be admired from all sides, another sculptural style focuses our attention from a primary viewpoint. Enter relief sculpture. Here, artists craft imagery on flat surfaces with designs that project outward, playing with depth and shadow. Depending on how much they protrude, We call them high or low relief. To visualize the idea of relief sculpture, think of images of ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics, etched on vast temple walls where each symbol tells a story, or colossally carved monuments like Mount Rushmore, or even in the palm of your hand, you can find intricate relief on coins you use each day. There are two fundamental techniques in the creation of sculptures. These are termed additive and subtractive. Let's start with additive sculpting. With additive techniques, sculptors build up their work using materials like clay or wax, or by attaching materials together. They assemble, shape, and mold these materials into the desired form. To better understand this approach, let's dive into a hands-on example. Let's demonstrate this technique. I'll craft a small house sculpture using modeling clay. This is mainly to visualize the concept of additive sculpting rather than a detailed demo. But feel free to experiment afterwards with clay you have on hand or by using the salt dough recipe in today's PDF. To begin an additive sculpture, you begin to build and make while keeping the end vision in mind. You start with nothing and add materials. Compared to the additive technique, which involves layering and combining materials, the subtractive technique involves removing matter from a block or mass of material to sculpt the desired and intended form. Stone and wood carvings are both common ways to do this. Let's demonstrate the concept of this technique. This time I'm going to carve a small sculpture of a house. This is not a step-by-step demo. This is simply a visual demonstration of the subtractive method of sculpting. You are encouraged to experiment after the video. For subtractive sculpting, you start with a mass of material and slowly and intentionally remove material to achieve the desired shape. You start with all your available material and subtract what isn't needed. It's important to remember that sculpting techniques have a rich history. Next, we'll highlight how a few sculptors from different eras have used form in their work. Throughout history, many artists have showcased form in transformative ways. A few have distinguished themselves for their exceptional use of form and their contributions to the discipline. How did these artists perceive form differently? First on our short list of sculptors is Auguste Rodin. His iconic work, The Thinker, captures contemplation. What might be the thoughts consuming the figure? How does its form communicate this? Transitioning into the modernism of the 1930s, Alexander Calder introduced a dance of shapes in mid-air with his mobiles. How do you imagine that floating forms interact with their surroundings and each other? Henry Moore drew deep from nature, creating abstract organic forms. Have the forms found in the natural world ever sparked your imagination? By the mid-20th century, Alberto Giacometti made us question human proportions with his stretched-out figures. Have you seen other examples of manipulated and abstracted forms in art? What might be the message in his intentional elongations? As pop culture blossomed, Claes Oldenburg magnified the mundane. How does making something larger than life affect a viewer's interpretations of a form? Lastly, contemporary artist Dale Chihuly, using the delicate medium of glass, created vibrant wonders. How does light interact with his sculptures to enhance form? Through each artist's creations, the element of form has repeatedly evolved, reflecting various emotions, views, and cultural changes. Take some time after this video and refer to the PDF list of mentioned artists, and conduct some independent research to see more of their works. In conclusion, sculpture is a complex art that adds a tangible dimension to the element of form. Whether it's sculpture in the round or relief, sculptors use additive and subtractive methods to breathe life into their work. Furthermore, the materials selected add additional meaning to sculpted form. I hope you take the opportunity to experiment a bit more with sculpting. While this course has a focus primarily on painting and drawing, sculpture is art. And art is all around you. Hey!